particular motion was on the floor of the House already, and extensive debate took place on this particular motion. That was last week. This is a motion that during its debate, members of the National Assembly hailed it, with majority of them indicating that this particular establishment of the International Vaccine Institute will improve the research capacity for the medical department. It will also improve the training capacity for the professionals in that particular faculty, or those within the medicine faculty. And it is a motion whose debate was completed, but due to lack of enough members, it was pushed to the next sitting, that is today. And on this afternoon, this motion, there is a question that will be put on the proposals that are in this motion, how they will be adopted. And of course, from what was seen on the debate last week is that members were in agreement with this particular motion, the establishment of the International Vaccines Institute. It is a bill, it is a motion that is moved by the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Health. The motion on the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government ministries, departments and agencies for the financial year 2020-2021 is also lined up for consideration. This motion also, its debate already kicked off on the floor of the House. It is a motion by the Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee. Last week, also members participated in this in the debate for this motion, and the Chairperson will be seeking to have the House adopt the report of that committee on its examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government ministries, departments and agencies for the financial year 2020-2021. Now remember, this report was laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 30th of November 2023. But the debate that was on the floor last week was not completed, and the debate will be a resumption of that a debate that was interrupted on the Thursday of February 22nd, the year 2024. So basically, this is the Thursday of last week, and that is a motion that members who have not gotten the opportunity to give their views on this motion, then they will be able to do that this afternoon, as it is one of the motions that members are lined up to consider this afternoon. The members will also resuming consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on 23 non-compliant state corporations. This is a motion whose debate also already took place on the floor of the House, but it was not completed. So this afternoon's business on this motion will be a resumption of the debate that was interrupted on, again, the Thursday of 22nd February, the year 2024. This, of course, was in the afternoon sitting. And this is a motion that is being moved by the Chairperson, Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture. And the Chairperson will be seeking to have the House adopt that report that was laid on the table of the House Wednesday, 23rd August, the year 2023. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Dr. Moses Wetangula, is in the chambers. As you can see, he will be the one presiding over this afternoon sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Good afternoon.
Mheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, twausii utasame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Twakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yetu yakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili tukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao wamesikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Honorable members, we now have quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Take your seat on the nearest seat, Makali. Honorable members, I have a communication to make on the report of the multi-sectoral working group on the realization of the 2/3 gender principle. Honorable members, I wish to notify you that I am in receipt of a report of the multi-sectoral working group on the realization of the 2/3 gender principle submitted by the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Gender, Culture, the Arts and Heritage, Honorable Aisha Juma. The report is scheduled for tabling by the Honorable Majority Leader today. As you are aware, Honorable members, the multi-sectoral working group was appointed by His Excellency the President to develop and recommend a framework for the implementation of the 2/3 gender principle as provided for in Article 27(8) and 81(b) of the Constitution. I have had a chance to peruse the report of the multi-sectoral working group, and I have observed that the report recommends constitutional amendments to provide for gender top-up through party lists. This is akin to the practice obtaining in our county assemblies. The multi-sectoral working group has also recommended that the Elections Act 2011 be amended to provide for submission of party lists that comply with the 2/3 gender principle. Further, The report recommends that the Political Parties Act 2011 be amended to provide for establishment of the Women Inclusion and Political Participation Fund for purposes of financing education and training, mentorship, and capacity building, including support for women seeking elective positions. Additionally, honorable members, the multi-sectoral working group has recommended the enactment of equality law and legislation to implement Article 100 of the Constitution. Further, the working group has also made a raft of recommendations that require administrative action aimed at achieving gender equality and empowerment of women. Honorable members, it's notable that the report of the multi-sectoral working group comes at an opportune time, as you will recall that last week the House adopted the report of the National Dialogue Committee, NADCO. On the issue of the two-thirds gender principle, the committee recommended that the multi-sectoral working group on the realization of the two-thirds gender principle does finalize its work and recommend a framework of implementation of the two-thirds gender principle and submit its report to Parliament for consideration. Further, honorable members, as you may be aware, last week the leadership of both houses of Parliament held a meeting with the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Gender, Culture, the Arts and Heritage, and the multi-sectoral working group. During the meeting, the commitment of Parliament towards ensuring the implementation of the two-thirds gender principle was reiterated and reaffirmed. The Right Honourable Speaker of the Senate and I also met the Cabinet Secretary and the working group, during which we advised the working group to expeditiously finalize its work and forward its report to Parliament for consideration. Subsequently, the multi-sectoral working group, having concluded on its report, the ball is now in the court of this House and the Senate to consider the report. Honourable members, it is on this background that I now wish to bring to the attention of the House the report together with our next legislative instruments. As I stated earlier, the report is scheduled for tabling by the leader of the majority party today. Upon tabling, the report shall stand committed to the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs for consideration and appropriate action at the earliest available opportunity. Additionally, noting the centrality of this report towards ensuring the implementation of the two-thirds gender principle, I advise that the House Business Committee does prioritize the consideration of the report. The House is accordingly guided. Members, take your seats. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable members, take your seats. I have some messages to relay. Take the nearest seats. Honorable members, I have 2 messages from the Senate. The first message on adoption of the report of the National Dialogue Committee and approval of the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill 2023. Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 41-1 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I wish to report to the House that I have received 2 messages regarding the adoption of the report of the National Dialogue Committee and approval of the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023. Honourable members, the first message conveys that the Senate, by a resolution passed on Wednesday, 21st February 2024, adopted the report of the National Dialogue Committee. Members will recall that on the same day, this House also approved the said report, thereby concluding the bicameral consideration of the report. Honourable members, as you may further recall, the National Dialogue Committee was approved via concurrent resolutions passed by the National Assembly and the Senate on Wednesday, 16 August 2023, and Tuesday, 29 August 2023, respectively. The mandate of the committee was to facilitate dialogue and consensus building and to recommend appropriate constitutional, legal, and policy reforms on issues of concern to the people of Kenya. I take cognizance of the fact that some of the committee's recommendations require legislative action of Parliament. In this regard, honorable members, the Speaker of the Senate and I will be reaching out to the leadership of the majority and minority parties in both houses for a meeting. The meeting is to chart the way forward on areas within the purview of Parliament. Honorable members, the second message conveys that on Thursday, 22nd February 2024, the Senate considered and approved the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, National Assembly Bills number 23 of 2023. Members will recall that on Wednesday, 21st February 2024, this House adopted the report of the mediation committee on the bill, consequent to which it was approved the said version of the bill as proposed by the committee. Honorable members, the approval of the mediated version of the bill by the Senate concludes the bicameral consideration of the bill. In this regard, and in accordance with the provisions of Article 1133 of the Constitution, I will proceed to present the bill to the President for assent. The House is accordingly guided. Thank you. Take your seats. I have another message, members. The nearest seat. Take the nearest seats, members. Thank you. Honorable members, the next message from the Senate is on the passage of 7 Senate bills. Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 41-1 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I wish to report to the House that I received 7 messages from the Senate regarding passage of the following Senate bills: Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2023, the County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2022, the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Services Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022, the Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bill number 13 of 2022, the Startup Bill, Senate Bill number 14 of 2022, the Persons with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2023, and the Kenya Sign Language Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2023. Honorable members, the first message conveys that on Wednesday, 21st February 2024, the Senate considered and passed the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2023 with amendments. The bill, which was published by the Kenya Gazette Supplement number 113 of 20th July 2023, seeks to authorize the issue of a sum of money out of the Equalization Fund and its application towards the service of the year ending 30th June 2024, and to appropriate that sum for certain public basic services. Honorable members, the second message conveys that on Wednesday, 21st, 2024, the Senate considered and passed the County Licensing Uniform Procedure Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2022 with amendments. The bill was published by the Kenya Gazette Supplement number 196 of 29th November 2022 and seeks to establish standard uniform procedures for licensing by county governments. The third message conveys that on Wednesday, 21st February 2024, the Senate considered and passed the Agricultural and Livestock Extension Services Bill, Senate Bill number 12 of 2022 with amendments. The bill, which was published by the Kenya Gazette Supplement number 205.
The counties, sub-counties, and now wards, the arena of innovation, job creation, and potential business processing outsourcing by virtue of the last mile fiber connectivity and the development of ICT hubs. I want to tell the good people of Homa Bay County that that program